Shoot. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? So this guy, Phil Stringer, if you don't know who he is, you will know. If you don't know, now you know. Flew in from Miami, literally 24 hours ago, was on stage at Inman. And this guy was sharing some new stuff that he hasn't shared with anybody except for that small group. But then he told me he's going to top that. On his flight over here from Miami, which is like 15,000 hours, he literally transformed his whole entire presentation, added some new stuff for you guys. So you guys are going to be the first to see any of what he has. Secondly, at Inman, it was $900 a seat to hear his stuff. Y'all paid $10. Yeah, you gotta clap for that. Y'all better clap for that. Seriously, $10. That's the cost of Starbucks. I've already spent 50 this morning on 4 Starbucks. So you guys are in for a deal. Phil Stringer, he's the most well-respected, most wanted AI instructor right now across the nation. He's traveling all over the place. He's showcased at Inman. He's on every regional rally for EXP. He's been at EXP conventions. He's everywhere. And right now, we can all agree one thing. AI is in. It is now. It's right now. And if you think it's coming, you're late. You're right behind the 8 ball. It is already knee-deep into AI. So if you're already struggling, you should be in this room. So if you're in this room, give yourself a high five because you're here. Yes, because you're here. And if you're live streaming, by the way, say hello to everybody live streaming. Let's go. So anyways, you're in store, 2 hours of Phil Stringer, which is amazing. I don't know if I could handle Phil for 2 hours, but today I will. Y'all ready for this?
We're all ready for this.
Seriously, y'all ready for this? Come on. All right, without further ado, give your attention, your applause to Phil Stringer.
All right, let's go.
Oh, I gotta lay you first.
Thank you guys. Oh, do I get a lay?
Yeah, I get to lay you. Hold on.
All right.
Tradition here,
Let's
bro.
go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm about to save you a ton of time and make you a bunch of money. Is that okay? All right. I love the energy in the room. Energy online, I hope, is just as good. But let's get going. Let's do this stuff. Real estate is changing. You can cry about it, or you can automate it. Okay? If I can give you 470 extra hours in the next year, is that something that you would be interested in? I mean, think about that for a second. Legitimately, if you do the math, that's how many weeks, right, of a full-time, that's 12, almost 12 extra weeks of full-time work, 40 hours a week, right? I'm no mathematician, but that's pretty close. So imagine then if you had 12 extra weeks that your competition didn't have. Imagine if you had 64 weeks a year and they only had 52. I think you could do something with that to absolutely crush your competition. So there's only 2 possible outcomes from this session. Number 1 is you'll start to become wildly more productive and profitable. Or number 2, you'll start to become painfully irrelevant. And that's the truth. I know that hurts, but that's the truth. And I want to say, if you don't believe me when I say that, is there anyone who's been in real estate for 25 years or more in the room? Okay, so with the hat on over here, ma'am, what's your name? Mary Liz? I like. Mary Liz. All right. So Mary Elizabeth. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So Mary Liz, since you're not in trouble right now. So Mary Liz, 25 years ago, before the internet was the MLS, what was the MLS?
A book.
Okay. Once a month, a book. All right. Now, Mary Liz, if you decided that you were not going to evolve with technology, you said, forget the internet thing, would you still be in business today? No. Why? Because the internet has changed the game for real estate agents. AI is the greatest technological advancement that we have seen since the creation of the internet, and it is just a matter of time before the AI-powered agent replaces the standard agent that is not using AI. Just like the internet-powered agent eventually replaced the non-internet-powered agent, it was just a matter of time. So I don't say this to be rude. I say this because if you do not involve AI with your process, at some point you will be irrelevant. Now, it depends on what you do with AI, and that's starting today, because today we're going to go through a lot. I did tell Chris, I'm going through more stuff with you guys than I've ever gone through with any audience. I did 100 live events last year, more virtual. I'm giving you guys more stuff than I've ever given any audience. Swear to God, the most in this room right now today in these 2 hours.
Let's go.
Like, seriously. Yeah. So after 2 hours, you're going to feel like you probably drank from a fire hose, right? But I want you to understand that even if you only get one little tip or trick out of today, there's a lot. But even if you only get one, it will change the game for you. So don't feel overwhelmed when I give you all these possibilities, because if you try and do all of them all at once, you will fail at all of them because you won't do any of them well. So I want you to just pick one or two things that you feel like would change the game for you, and don't feel like you've got to do all of this. Guys, most people, 99% of agents aren't doing the strategies that I'm talking about yet. So even if you pick one or two, you'll be ahead of them, okay? So sigh of relief, at the beginning. Now, there is someone beating you in business with half of your experience, a fraction of your skill, and way less hustle. And they're able to do it because they know how to use AI at a higher level than you. But that changes today. I'm going to show you exactly how to use AI to crush your goals and your competition. So I want to start off with a question. I think most of us are going to have the same answer to this. But what is your most valuable asset? Time? I agree with you. I think it's time. There's 3 reasons I've heard why. Number 1, we don't know how much of it we have left. There's nobody in this room, nobody online that knows how much time you have left in your life. It's unknown, which makes it very valuable. Number 2, I've heard that we all have the same amount of it per day. There's 24 hours. It doesn't matter what your name is. We all have 24 hours. The third thing that I've heard is that we can't create more of it, so it makes it very valuable because you can't create time. I think one of these things is actually a lie. I believe that we can create time. Now, I don't think that we can create time in the sense of more than 24 hours a day. Obviously, we have 24. But I believe that the time that we spend investing in things that will save us time tomorrow will have a compounding effect on our time. So for an example, we're giving 2 hours today to this session, right? Again, I told you I'm no mathematician, but I'm pretty sure if you find one tip or one trick today that saves you 10 minutes a day, and that's it, you invested 2 hours to learn. So after 12 days of saving 10 minutes a day, you're going to break even on that time investment of 2 hours, to where every day moving forward, you will be 10 minutes richer every single day if you apply these things, which is why I believe we can create more time, because we can invest time in things that save us time, and then we can do more with less. So let me ask you something honestly. How much of your day is filled with stuff that doesn't actually move the needle in business? Yeah, you're like, there's a lot, right? I feel this slide a lot. Every time I say this, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So responding to emails, rewriting that one social post for the 5th time, right? We know, we've all done it. Manually chasing leads. You're busy, but you're not winning. You feel that? And here's the painful truth. And this one stings more than any other slide that I've got. So be prepared. Every hour you spend doing things a machine can now do faster and better than you is an hour your competition is gaining on you. If we are doing something that a machine can now do not only faster, but better, there is someone out there, your competition, who's using a machine to do it faster and better than you. They're gaining on you because of that. Now, your competition is using AI to multiply their time and stretch every dollar, while you're just using it to turn yourself into an action figure. How many of you have done it? Be honest. You've turned yourself into an, I see, yeah, 1, 2, 3. You can be honest, I've done it too, okay? And I offer this slide, which you'll probably want to take a picture of. If you are interested in turning yourself into an action figure just for fun on ChatGPT, I want to avoid the questions afterwards on like, what's the prompt? So there's the prompt, okay? Because I don't want to talk about this stuff. I'm not interested in turning myself into an action figure. It's fun. It's fun. But you will know if you've been to any of my events, if you've been to any of my online training, there are 2 things that I'm interested in when it comes to AI. It's either got to save me time or it has to help me sell more homes. And if it doesn't do one of those 2 things, I honestly really don't care. Like, this stuff is fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to see yourself as an action figure. But I'm interested in strategies that will actually help us save time and make money. And that's all. All right? I love this quote by Jim Rohn. It says, time is our most valuable asset, yet we tend to waste it, kill it, and spend it rather than invest it. And I think that's so true. Anytime you can increase your output while maintaining or decreasing your input, you create leverage. Think about that. Anytime you can do more with the same amount of time or even less time, You're creating leverage because you are able to do more with less, right? And the business owner, the real estate agent, doesn't matter what industry you're in, with the most leverage will win every single time. So that is why I say AI is to your time what compound interest is to your money. AI is to your time what compound interest is to your money. You've probably heard me say this. If you know me at all, you've heard me. I've been saying this for years. AI is not going to replace your job, but someone using AI will. A lot of times as real estate agents, we're worried because we're like, man, is AI going to replace me? Right now, the technology is not there. It's a relational game that we're in, right? But the real estate agent who's using AI, your competition, who's using the machine to do things faster and better, that's what you have to be worried about. Don't be worried about AI. Embrace AI so that you can crush your competition. Now, the good thing is you don't need to be an AI master. Anybody like a little bit of a relief? Like you hate technology? Anyone in the room, like, be honest with me. You think you're the worst in the room? Raise your hand. Worst in the room right here? Okay, what's your name? Christina thinks she's the worst in the room at technology. Do we agree? Anyone who knows Christina, is this legit? So, Christina, at the end of this 2 hours, I'm going to ask you if you feel like you can apply the strategies that we're going through. Because the reason I say that is I legitimately, when I started this whole business, I thought my only value that I can bring, I'm not super smart. I'm really not, like, I'm not a developer. I'm not a tech guy. But I can take confusing things and I can boil it down to where it doesn't matter if you're 5 years old or 95 years old, you'll get it. So I think that's the value that I bring, and the strategies that I want to show you, even Christina can do, okay? I tell people even my grandmother can do everything that I show them. And my grandmother, see, there you go. Now, what she doesn't know is my grandmother is no longer with us, which makes it actually even more impressive that she can still do these things. Now you're about to discover how to create time, not in theory, but literally hours you get back every week with the right AI tools and prompts. I'm not talking about random experience or futuristic hype. I'm talking about practical, dead simple strategies. Strategies that real business owners are using right now to save time, make more money, and crush the competition without being tech savvy, Christina. I'm going to show you the exact tools and prompts I use to scale my business from 0 to 7 figures in 12 months. And at the end, I'll even give you the full PDF with every tool, every link, every prompt we cover today so that you can plug and play immediately. And by the way, no one in the world has this PDF. I created it for you guys today, legitimately. Yeah. And honestly, it's just because I love Chris. Okay, so if you want to, if you want to thank anyone today, it's not me. I just really like this dude. Okay, all right.
Around everybody.
Yeah, yeah, Venmo or Cash App. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Starbucks. What if every hour you invested today, which is 2, paid you back tenfold, not just in money, but also in time? What if you could have a content strategy that runs itself, have automation that makes you elite without hiring, train ChatGPT to know your business better than even your employees, have content systems that generate months of marketing in minutes, all without needing to be technical or creative? Christina's getting excited, okay? What you're gonna see today is not AI hype, because there's a lot of AI hype out there. These are tools and prompts that make your business feel like it has a team of 10 when it's really just you. So you just need to know what buttons to press and what to type, and I'm about to show you exactly that. This is how you do more with less. This is how you create leverage. This is how you win. If I were to sum all of that up into 3 words, it's evolve or die. We've had to do this since the beginning of mankind. The same can be said with technology. We have to evolve with technology or we will die, just like the internet killed a lot of agents, right? We had to evolve with the internet. Same can be said with AI. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, all of this sounds great. Does this sound good so far? Yes? All right. But why should we trust you? Who does not know me? Raise your hand if you've never been to one of my events. Okay, a few of you. Yeah, a lot of you. There we go. This is awesome. Okay, so why should you trust me? If you don't know me, I'm just a random guy standing up here, right? In less than 2 years, I've scaled a 7-figure personal brand from nothing. I started with no marketing budget, no social media following, no experience. I now have over 1,200 clients in my AI Academy program that I sell in all 50 states and 23 countries. I've taught business owners from solo entrepreneurs to sales teams how to create time, simplify their marketing, and scale without burnout. I've gained over 200,000 followers across social platforms, received over 1 billion views on my short form video content. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not a developer. I'm not even that smart, like I told you. I just figured out how to use AI in ways that actually work for people like us. So today, I'm not here to impress you with what I've done. I'm here to show you how you can do it too, because you can. I'm no different from you. I'd even venture to say that most of you in here are more capable than I was when I started. I knew nothing. All I did was just take action, just like you're taking today. So give yourself a pat on the back for investing the 2 hours to be here today, because this is where it starts. This is where your journey begins. All right, so this is me. If you want to connect with me, the best way is probably Instagram. So it's just my first and last name on Instagram, Phil Stringer. I respond to my DMs. We try and help people with AI tips and tricks. I was a chief operating officer of a mega team in North Carolina, so I do have a real estate background before I went full-time into AI. So I understand what you guys go through, and I've built all of my systems and strategies around real estate. We've scaled to multiple different industries, but real estate is my bread and butter. And so that's why I like being at real estate events, because I understand what you guys are going through. I am going to break this up into a couple different categories. First category, in the first section, I'm going to walk you through some tools that I have found have really helped real estate agents save time and make money. And I'm going to show you how they do that with those tools. This is not going to be ChatGPT. How many of you are using ChatGPT? Raise your hand. I would say most of us. Now, there are always people, every single event I've ever done, I'll say raise your hand if you aren't using ChatGPT, and there's always hands. Like, there are still people who aren't using it. If that's you, please get a free account, and you will want to do some of the strategies that we're doing. I'm going to have a full section just on ChatGPT because most of the room uses it. But first, I'm going to start off with tools that are not called ChatGPT that you can implement. Again, I'm going to show you probably 8 to 10 different tools. I don't want you to do all of them. I just want you to pick 1 or 2, maybe 3, that you feel like you could implement that will help you the most. And then once you get good at those, and once you feel like, okay, this is good, add another tool. Okay, but you don't have to feel like you've got to do all of this all at once. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of this. I'm a very visual learner. Are there any visual learners in the room? Okay, so like theory's great, but like I want to see it. I want to see you do it. So that's why every event that I do, I have my laptop on stage and I actually do live demo. Inman actually, has anyone ever been to Inman Connect? Okay, so you can't have your laptop on stage at Inman. Like it's just, there's no way to do it. So I literally, in my presentation, I had to screen record me doing things and put them in as slides, and it was video, right? But most events, 99% of events, I have my laptop here because I want to show you. I want to actually do the thing and show you how it works, okay? So I'm going to exit out of presentation mode, and we're going to go over to some tools here. The very first tool, now, this everything I go through. So the tools, I'm going to go through a marketing playbook that is going to absolutely crush the game. I'm going to teach you how to build a marketing playbook for yourself. And then I'm going to teach you some deep research techniques. Again, these are things I haven't shared with anyone else. I put all of this in a PDF so you can just copy and paste it all, okay? All of these tools I have listed out for you in a list with the link that you can click on to go to the tool, okay? So if you're taking notes, don't be like, oh my gosh, what was the name of that tool? Did I spell it right? Was it .com? Was it .net? Like, all of this is in the PDF, and I'm going to give it to you at the end, okay? But I want to start off with this tool called Gamma. Gamma creates presentations, and it does it very well. There's a lot of presentation creating softwares that's AI, but they look really bad, okay? This one designs it very, very well. So you can create a presentation. You can actually create a website with this tool. You can also create a PDF document that looks really pretty. Like if you're wanting to create some type of handout or buyer's guide or something, you can actually do that with this tool as well. You can do it 3 different ways. Number 1, you can paste in any text. So think about this. If you copy something from ChatGPT, paste it in, it will turn it into a pretty beautifully designed presentation, okay? You can generate with a prompt. So let's say you don't have something to copy and paste in, but you know what you want your presentation to be. You could type in a prompt and say, hey, I want you to create me a 10-slide presentation about X, and it will do that. This is all editable, so you can go through and you can type in what you actually want. Or You can import a file or a URL. So you could upload any type of file. It will analyze that file, turn that information from that file into a presentation. You could paste in a website. It'll analyze the website, turn that into a presentation, and it's done in a minute right in front of your eyes. You pick what you want it to look like, and you're done, right? Beautiful tool, and I'm going to actually show you how this works, and we'll do it together. The second tool that I want to show you, though, is a tool that has made more money for my students than any other tool has in the last 2 years. So you'll want to pay attention to this one. This one is buyerprediction.com. Okay? Simplest tool in the world, but it's the most effective thing that I've seen. You put in the property address and you put in the price point. You hit submit, and it uses data and an AI algorithm to tell you who is most likely to purchase that home. So why don't we do it together? Does anyone have a property that they want to test out with me? You know the address, you know the price point? Right here. All right, let's do it. All right, let's go. K what?
AFOKU Street, Unit 2302, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96822.
96826. And what's that listed for?
800.
All right. So that's all I'm putting in. Price point. Now you'll see at the end of this, I can actually talk back to it and give it more details if I want to. But just with the property address and just with the price point, I hit submit with those two things, and it's going to tell me ideal buyer persona of who's going to buy this home. I'll scroll back up once it's done. But it goes through all of these things. Watch this. Demographic information, income, age, occupation, family status, psychographic profile, values, interests and hobbies, lifestyle preferences, motivations, concerns, pain points, marketing strategy recommendations for that property, for addressing the pain points, enhancing appeal, content ideas for that property. And you have this whole thing. Now, this here, you can actually talk to it like ChatGPT. So let's say that there are features of the property that you want it to know. Be like, hey, just so you know, it's here. You know, this is the area, whatever you want to do. And it will include those things into the persona. But just from the property address and the price point and from sales data, it tells you who is most likely to buy this home. So this person is the most likely buyer. And what you can do, like let's think about how we could use this tool as a real estate agent. Obviously, there's lots of ways. One, you bring this report with you to any listing appointment and you have it as part of your, like, guys, it's amazing because you're like, hey, every other real estate agent just kind of markets to everyone. We have a software that tells us who's most likely to buy your home. We're able to target our marketing. You win every single listing appointment. Like I had some testimonials. I wish I had them with me that I pulled last week. I'm getting testimonials all the time for this tool because it's a tool I built and we spent a year beta testing. And so I'm getting so many things on this. Yeah. I had someone text me last week. I just got a $2.5 million listing using the tool. I had a guy text me. He said, I just got a $2.9 million listing. I'm a brand new agent and I beat out 6 top producers in my area because he had the tool and they didn't. Like all the time I'm getting these text messages like this is the best thing that I've used. Why? Because you're able to do something different. You're differentiating yourself from all the other agents. And what I want to show you is you can copy this whole report. So let's copy it. Remember Gamma? What if I were to paste in the report into Gamma? And I say, okay, I want a presentation. And you can decide, like, do you want it widescreen? Do you want it tall? Whatever. I'll just do a widescreen presentation because I'm going to go on a listing appointment. Now, Gamma allows you to change different things. Like you could say, I want a little bit of text, medium text, detailed, medium. You could say, I want to write this presentation for. So like, let's just say, and I don't even have to do this. I could literally just hit continue and it'll do the whole thing. But what if I say I want to write it for the home seller? And then I could say I want to be the listing agent. Like I'm just for this home. And I'm just giving it like very brief information. I could say I want to show them the ideal buyer for their property, right? And you don't even have to put that in. I'm just doing that for fun. You hit continue. I said I wanted to do 8 slides. You pick what you want it to look like. So, you know, if you want it to be colorful, if you want it to be classy, let's just go with this one, right? You hit generate. I did nothing else to this. I just pasted in that information that we got from Buyer Prediction. And then what it's going to do is it's going to generate a presentation for me. Discover your ideal buyer. There's the address. Who's going to buy your home? And once it's done, I'll scroll up so you can see the whole thing. What drives their decision, their lifestyle and interests, what keeps them up at night, why your property is perfect, how we'll reach them. Let's find your buyer together. All right, let's look at this thing. The full thing. Now, you can drag in whatever images you want. It's just going to put in placeholders. You can change any of this text to whatever you want. Who's going to buy your home, right? What drives their decision? Lifestyle and interests. All of this is editable, but 90% of the work is done for you. What keeps them up at night? Why your property is perfect? How we're going to reach them. Yeah, don't tell anyone, okay? This is just for you. So do you see how we're 2 tools in, but you could pair that with this? So buyerprediction.com, I have it on buyerprediction.com where you can use it the first use. It's totally ungated. You don't have to put in your name. You don't have to put in anything. You just can use the tool. Once you do your free first use, because you're going to see that it works so well, it's $29 a month for unlimited uses. It's nothing. Everyone in this room should be on that tool. Like it's the most incredible tool. This Gamma tool is free. I don't pay for this. I literally just pasted in the text. It made my presentation, and that's the free version of Gamma. So for $29, I just created this, which you can do it for free because you get your first use for free at buyerprediction.com. Is that helpful? Cool. All right, let's go to some other tools. This one I've found is very helpful. It's called Opus Clip. Has anyone used Opus Clip? Raise your hand. Yep. Okay. So what Opus Clip does is you put in a video here, and you can either drag in a file, any file of any video, or you can paste in a video link if it's online, like YouTube or wherever you get the video. You hit this white button that says Get Free Clips, which even Christina can do. And what it's going to do is it's going to crop it to size for short form content for TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. It's going to add in the captions for you, and it's going to edit the video and give you, say, 10, 15, 20 different edits that you can pick from, okay? The video can be any length. I mean, you could load in a 2-hour video if you wanted to. You could load in the video from this training and have it cut and do different clips, right? Or you could load in a 1-minute video and have it edit it for you. But it's going to add those captions. It adds auto B-roll, which is like the stock video footage about what you're talking about to keep people engaged, right? But the real power with Opus Clip is this right here called AI curation, right here. What AI curation is it understands what the video is about, and then it says, where's the most shocking part of the video? We're going to put that at the beginning as the hook. And then we're going to pair that hook with relevant highlights then to create an Instagram reel, okay? Now you might be saying, okay, well, I pay someone to edit my short form content for me. That's fine. You can continue to do that. Give them this tool. They will 10x their output for you and you'll pay the same, okay? But it's a really incredible tool and it makes short form video editing an absolute breeze. The next tool, this one's called Descript. Has anyone used Descript? Okay, a couple of us. How many of you guys are video editors in the room? Raise your hand. We got some video editors. All right, I think if I were to ask that question in 60 seconds, all of us are going to raise our hand. That's how crazy this tool is. So Descript, I'll show you. I think I have the actual, yeah, here's the tool. So I have Descript open, and I don't even remember what this was. Okay, so I do a mastermind. I have a mastermind community where I meet with them every single week. This was one of my Tasks and Memories mastermind. So this was from 5/20, okay? Let's see. I literally don't even know what I said in here. So I don't think I have audio.
And I want to share with you some things specifically about ChatGPT. So we're going to go into ChatGPT and I'm going to show you just a few features, things that you might already know, things we've already talked about.
Okay, so what you can see is I have the video on the right. and then it transcribes the text of what I'm saying on the left. So if I needed to edit a video, I'm over here and I say, let's see what I said. But today I've got some pretty cool updates and I want to share with you some things specifically about ChatGPT. So we're going to go into ChatGPT and I'm going to show you just a few features, things that you might already know, things that we have already talked about, dive a little deeper into, okay, so what if I were like, you know what, I don't need to say all that and I'm editing a short form content or whatever. If I were to go over here and I were to say, let's just like select this text here. And let's say I don't want any of that. Like I just want this. So I'm highlighting this like it's an email, like it's a Word document. I can hit backspace and it edits the video to the text, right? So now.
But today I've got some pretty cool updates and I want to share with you some things specifically about ChatGPT. And so to start off, number one.
So I can literally edit out one word, right? I can edit out a sentence, a paragraph, like anything. And it edits the video to the text. All right. So now you are a video editor if you have ever edited an email, a text message, or a note, okay? Or a Google Doc, right? We have a question. Yes, that's a great question. You can also change what you said. So if I said the wrong word, I could change that text. So let's say, and so to start off number one, let's say I messed up and I was actually on number 2, but I said number 1, right? I can actually regenerate the word, change it to 2, and then it will say 2. Now, what it's going to do, I don't have this set up on this computer, but I use it all the time. It actually uses your voice to then clone your voice to say 2. And what you have to do in order to set this up is they give you a script to read. It's about a 2-minute long script. You hit record and you just read the script and then it learns your voice. And then you can regenerate words and fix what you said wrong. Okay? So that's pretty cool. Now, a couple other cool things about this. There are a couple features I want you to know. Number 1 is called Studio Sound. Normally what I'll do, and I didn't have time to do this, I wish I did this, is right before I speak, I'll be at the back of the room with my laptop and I'll be like, hey guys, we're about to start in 5 minutes. Just wanted to say hi, you know, this is what we're gonna go over, whatever. People are talking, there's music, it's super loud. And I don't have any special mic, I'm just with my laptop. I play you the original, and you can hear all the background noise and it's crazy, whatever. I hit Studio Sound, and guys, it sounds like I'm in a podcast room with a podcast mic. You can't hear anything else. And it's incredible. So like any video you shot walking outside, maybe you're doing a home tour or something, and like there's wind or whatever, takes care of it. Okay? Yeah, in one click. In one click. What's that? So this one, there's different tiers. This is a $30 a month tier. Yeah. Another one I want to show you guys, and you will thank me for this one, is remove filler words. You click this once and it's going to tell you all. I had 35 filler words in this half-hour video. So in one click, I can remove all of my ums and ahs from the video. Done. And you can't tell. It's incredible. Another thing that I'll show you is shorten word gaps. You guys know with short form content, you have to be punchy. You can't really spend a whole lot of time in between your sentences because people will get bored and they'll kind of swipe through. So that's why you see the short form edits are, I mean, there's not a lot of time in between words and in between sentences. So if you shorten word gaps, I could go here and I could say, all right, any word gap more than, I could say 2 seconds long, which it looks like there are 4 word gaps in this whole video of 2 seconds long or more. I want you to shorten it to half a second. And I can do this with any length. Like anything more than half a second long, I want you to shorten it to 0.1 seconds if you want it to be super punchy. And I'll do that for short form content. I'll do 0.1 seconds as the word gap. So that way it's just boom, 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 boom. I hit that shorten all button and everything in the video is, all the gaps are done. So you don't have to go through and be like, cut the time out and like delete it, right? It's just done for you. Last thing I'm going to show you on here is, let's see, there is a eye contact button. I don't see where it is. Oh, right here, eye contact. I do this all the time. Don't tell anyone I do this. I read from a script when I'm doing videos for promotions because I'm horrible, like off the cuff. Actually, I really am. So I'm looking down and I'm reading the script, or I'm on my screen reading the script and I'm not looking in the camera. I hit the eye contact button. That's it. My eyes are gazed at the screen. You cannot tell that I'm reading from a script. And a lot of my videos have that feature done through Descript. You can't even tell. Okay. So between this tool and Opus Clip, you now see how you can change the game with your video content and your video editing. Kind of like with the buyer prediction tool, paired with a free tool like Gamma, that can change the game for presentations, listing presentations. Now, one thing I should probably tell you guys about buyer prediction, because I didn't get into all the different ways that you can use this thing, is with the buyer prediction tool, people are using this tool for more ways than just going on a listing presentation and winning the listing. They're using it to actually get the appointments booked. So if anyone does any prospecting, if you're talking to FSBOs or expireds or anything, the moment they pick up the phone, you pop in that address and you say, hey, I just ran a buyer report. Do you want to book a time to talk with us about this? You book the listing appointment using the tool as bait. And people are booking a ton of listing appointments. Then you do the entire listing presentation. You have that a part of it, right? Another way that people are using this tool is instead of just saying, hey, for farming, hey, contact me, I'll give you a CMA, like everyone does. They say, hey, I know who's going to buy your home. Contact me, I'll give you a free buyer report, right? So there's multiple ways that you can use this tool to be like, look, we have something that other people don't have. And so definitely be creative with the different ways to use that thing. Moving on, this tool is called Tactic. It's T-A-C-T-I-Q. And this tool I use every day. This takes notes of your meetings online. So Zoom, WebEx, whatever it is. Now, there are many AI note takers out there. I like this one because at the end of the call, it will give me a full summary, detailed summary, short summary, action items for every single person in the room, and an agenda if applicable, okay? Now, it knows every square and every name and when someone was talking and when someone was being spoken to. So if I'm in a meeting and I say something to Christina, hey, make sure we need to do this, it's going to add that as a to-do on her list because it knows that she was in the room. So it's really, really nice. But how can real estate agents use this outside of an administrative tool? Imagine, do you guys do any like listing consults, buyer consults via Zoom? Okay. So imagine 5 minutes after the Zoom call ends, you send them an email, say, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, this is what we discussed. Here are your must-haves. This is what we're going to do moving forward. Here's our agenda. You're going to send them that email. You're going to look like the most organized agent in Hawaii. This is like referral city because they're going to tell people, be like, they had everything laid out, right? So this is great. Now, that's awesome, but who is doing more in person than on Zoom consults? Raise your hand. You're doing more in person? Okay. Great thing about Tactic is you can upload any video or audio file and it'll do the exact same thing. So if you have a meeting, you take your phone, you go to voice memo, you say, hey, I'm going to take notes, you hit record, you upload that file to Tactic, you get the same report, you send them an email right after your meeting, you can spend your time focusing on the client rather than taking notes, and everything is perfectly notated, and you have it for your records, they have it for theirs, right? So it can definitely help with that. This tool is more fun, but there are some practical uses for real estate agents. Yeah, you have a question or? So Tactic does not work with telephone calls to like link to your phone. There is another tool that I use for that, which I can tell you about. It's actually a physical device that uses the magnet on the back of your phone. And then any phone conversations, it'll record both ways. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sorry? It does not notify. It does not. Yep. Yep. Yes. This does not do that. Yeah, it's called Plaud, P-L-A-U-D. It's a physical device, and it records both ends of the call. If you have an iPhone, there is a new update where you can record calls. Have you guys used that? But it does announce at the beginning, this call is being recorded. So that is Plaud, P-L-A-U-D. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like, because I travel around and talk about this stuff so much, I have to be careful with like what's legal and what's not. In North Carolina, it's a one-party state, which means you don't have to disclose. So if the same with Hawaii, then you technically don't have to disclose because one party has to be aware that there's being the recording and you're the one party. So that's how North Carolina is. I guess that's how Hawaii is as well. All right. Adobe Firefly. So this is one of those tools where you can type something in and it'll create an image for you, which is really cool. And you can use this for graphic design and for marketing and whatnot. There is one specific feature of Adobe Firefly, and this is a free tool, by the way, called Generative Fill that I find is very helpful for real estate agents. Now, with Generative Fill, instead of typing in a prompt and getting an image, you upload your own photo and you can manipulate the photo. So what's the most frustrating thing when we get our listing photos back? Like it's trash day, the trash cans outside, the toilets, right? Yeah, they forgot to move their car out of the driveway that morning, whatever it is, and you want to clean things up, but you don't know Photoshop, right? So what you can do is you can upload an image and manipulate it. And I'm going to show you how easy this is. I was teaching a class in Atlanta, and someone on the front row raised their hand, and they said, well, I actually have a listing right now. It's kind of a junkier listing, but they had a car that was dead sitting in the front yard right in front of the home. It's now gone, but I got the listing photos back. Can you remove the car for me? And I said, sure. So they airdropped me the listing photo. I still have it on my computer, so I was going to pull it up for you guys. This is the listing, and I said, you're probably going to have to do a little more to the home than just remove the car, but I'll do my best. I'll help you out here. All right. So yeah, we need to Photoshop the entire thing. So on the left-hand side, oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Not yet. There's a lot at the front door. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah. There's a lot going on here. So, and poor thing, like if she knew that I was using her photo. Anyway, insert, remove, expand. Those are my three options with Generative Fill. I can put things into the image, I can remove things out of the image, and I can even expand the image and it will create what should be there. And it looks really, really good. So what I'm gonna do in this situation, obviously, is remove, and I get this little paintbrush, and what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna paint what I don't want, right? So in this case, we're removing the car. I hit this blue button, remove, that's all I do. It's gonna give me 3 different options to choose from. Even Christina can do this, okay? So let's see what it does. And again, we don't know Photoshop. We'll get 3 options here. 1, 2, 3, that's probably my favorite. That's the one I'll go with. You can't tell, right? So use this to clean things up. Do not add a second story to the home, okay? All right, use this wisely. But I give this to agents because there's so many times where it's like, oh, the toilet was dirty or whatever. Like you can literally clean stuff up without having to know how to edit images. And it's just done for you, okay? That's a free tool. A couple more tools, and then we're going to move on to some ChatGPT stuff. This is a tool called Durable, and this is an AI tool that builds a website for you in 30 seconds. You answer 3 questions. Number 1, what kind of business are you in? Number 2, what's the name of your business? Number 3, what city are you in or what location? Okay? It builds you a website from that. Now you have the ability to tweak the color scheme, to retype in text, to fix things. But 80% of the heavy lifting is going to be done for you, and it looks really, really good. Kind of like Gamma does a very good job at design. This is the best one. It just looks very modern, very clean, and you can change anything you want. Upload your logo, do all your things, and it's just done, okay? You can put your IDX feed on this thing. You can drag in images. It's really a great tool. It's very affordable. This tool here, let's see here what they've got. $12 a month or $20 a month for a business plan, but you get unlimited pages with either plan. Now, the really cool thing about having unlimited pages that I tell for real estate agents is you add a page, you drag in your listing photos if you have a listing going, you paste in your property description that I know you wrote in ChatGPT anyway. You go out and you buy 123mainhonolulu.com. You have it forward to that page. You spent $12 on that domain name. You created a website for that listing. Can you imagine how excited your sellers are going to be when they weren't expecting it? You're not a web developer, you're not a graphic designer, but all of that was done for free because you added a page. And you can do that with every single listing. Now imagine with me, if you show up to a listing presentation and it's a big deal and you're like, I really want this listing, you use the buyer prediction report, then you also say, hey, go to 123mainhonolulu.com. What if you were to create the website before you even got the listing? You're going to blow them away. Absolutely blow them away. So this tool is really good with easy website creation, and you don't have to learn anything. You just plug and play. Yep. Yeah, you can do different languages. Yep. Yeah. You would be able to transfer that domain to this. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So if I should go to different cities and locations, Hawaii, they with AI, Hawaii is very specific. So when you use AI, so often it only doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
You got it suits for bullshit.
Yeah.
Does it match the location?
So after you answer those 3 questions, that's just getting a very general idea of what you do for business so that it can, like if it knows you're a real estate agent in Hawaii, it's going to put certain things in there. But if you are a bakery in Denver, it's going to be a completely different. So they use more of like, hey, what do you do for a living to line up what you need? You need testimonials, you need a list of services, you need your IDX feed in that. But then you put in your actual address for exactly where you are. The city thing is just a very generic, like, hey, we want to know where in the world you are. Oh yeah, you can drag in your own, or you can say, I don't like this one, change it, and it'll give you a new one. You can change as many times as you want. You can type in what you want, drag in one from their predetermined images. It's very easy, drag and drop. Yeah. All right. This one here, I'm going to tell you about because everyone loves it, but I don't recommend using this for social media. Okay, this one is HeyGen. And this tool creates an AI-generated avatar. So you pick your model, and you pick your voice, and then whatever you type in or paste in, you hit play, that person with that voice is saying what you just, in a video. So then you can create videos with talking head stuff, okay? Now, cool thing about HeyGen is you can upload a video of you talking, and it creates an AI-generated avatar that looks and sounds like you. This technology is getting very good. Before, it looked so bad. I would say it's 85% of the way there. There's still some weird things like with inflection where it's like, I can tell. Most people can't. But I would not use this to replace your social media, because a lot of people are like, oh, I can just post social media videos with, and I believe authenticity wins when it comes to social media. I would use this for any type of training that you've got. Maybe if you have a team and you've got certain processes or systems that you do training on where you need that, this works great. I saved a team $60,000 from doing the whole production thing because they just pasted in their training stuff and then it was done. But it's not something where they needed it to be like super authentic to their audience. It was just a training for their individual team. So any systems, processes, things like that, this works very well, saves a lot of time, saves a lot of money. Just don't fall into the trap of like, oh, well, I can just use this for Instagram. I think it's too weird for that, okay? All right, last tool. This one's called Notebook LM. Has anyone used Notebook LM yet? One person. Okay, this one's pretty cool. What this was meant to do is you can upload different sources into a brain, and then it will teach you about all those sources. So I'm going to show you how this works. All right, so for an example, I'm going to create a new one. These are the options that I get. So I can upload any file, and I get, this is the free account, by the way, I get 50 files I can load into this thing. Upload any file. I can take stuff from Google Docs or Google Slides, from my Google Drive account. I can paste in any website. I could paste in any YouTube video. I could paste in any text. And I add all of those things as sources. And then it makes one big external brain with all of that information, and it breaks it down and teaches you what you need to know from all the sources. So a lot of times I'll put in a 1-hour YouTube video that I don't have time to watch, and then I'll get the Spark Notes of what I need to learn from that thing, right? And there's many ways that you can work with this. If you don't have any sources, but you want to learn something, you can click Discover Sources, and you could say, we could type in anything here. So we could say, find info about Phil Stringer, the guy who was on the airplane by himself. For those of you who don't know, a couple of years ago, I had a video go insanely viral where I had an entire American Airlines flight to myself. And let's say I don't have any sources, but I want to learn about this guy. I can hit submit. What it's going to do is it's going to use Google to find all these sources. So North Carolina man had a flight to himself after waiting out 8 hours. This was from NPR. This is from TikTok. This is from, I don't know what source that is, but that's it. American Airlines passenger. Man gets entire plane for himself from YouTube. So it's getting all these different sources, and I can decide which one I want and which one I don't. So I can import all of these things. All of these are my sources. So files, whatever I want, and it creates a whole brain of things for me to learn from. So now, over here in the middle, this uses Gemini. And so let's see what it says. Several online sources, including TikTok, Reddit, Fox Business, NPR, and People Magazine, detail the unusual experience of a passenger named Phil Stringer who had an American Airlines flight to himself following an 18-hour delay, blah, 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 blah. I can talk to this like it's ChatGPT. This is Gemini in here. Have you guys used Gemini before? Okay. You can talk to this and you can ask questions about it. Be like, okay, where was he flying from and to? Because it's using the sources, and I can talk to the sources to learn. And it will answer the question. And so flying from Oklahoma City to Charlotte, North Carolina, that is correct. And then it gives me the sources of where it pulled that information from. So this was from CBS News. And this source is from, I don't know what this is, some website. This is from some comment on a social media thing. So it pulls all these sources. You can see where it's giving you the information from. Yes?
And then it spits out like your patterns or whatever.
Correct, 100%.
Like, is that all, like, is it still protected, like privacy-wise, or?
So there are certain things that are protected and certain things that aren't. With the free account, nothing is protected, right? So even the same with ChatGPT. If you have the free ChatGPT account, they use your data to train. If you have the paid account, there is an option for you to say, I don't want you to use my data, right? But if you're doing financial stuff on a free account, I wouldn't recommend it. But you could 100% load in all your financial data and be like, all right, what are trends? Where am I spending? Like, they give you all that. On the right-hand side here, you can create a study guide. You can create a briefing document, frequently asked questions, and a timeline of events, all from your sources. So it uses your sources to create all of that information. You can also generate up here an audio overview of what you need to learn. This creates a podcast with 2 AI hosts that talk back and forth and teach you what you need to know about all this information. Right? So now I have these documents that were created, the private flight of Phil Stringer. Here's the timeline, Sunday morning, specifically 3 a.m. It goes through the whole timeline of my day based on all these articles from what it knows. Cast of characters, Phil Stringer, American Airlines flight crew, gate agent from Oklahoma City. Because in my video, there was a gate agent where she said, she announced over the loudspeaker, she's like, Phil Stringer, your flight's ready, right? So she's a cast of character. The baggage handler, because I went up to him and I was like, hey, how many bags did you have to load on this plane? He said, total of 1. So he's a character in this story. So it gives you all this information here. I also have a briefing document that gives me, this is what I need to know. If I don't have time to read all these sources, this is what I need to know, right? I have the unexpected journey where it just gives me bullet points. And then I also have a study guide. What was the original destination and departure city for Phil Stringer's flight? How long was Phil Stringer's flight ultimately? And then it gives you the answers below. Right? So you can use this to learn and quiz yourself on information. And then once this audio thing generates, I'll play it for you because, oh, there you go. So it gave me a 9-minute and 29-second podcast about this story. Let's see what happens.
Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take the sources you're curious about, dig into them, and pull out the key stuff. You know, save you some time, but keep you really well informed.
Exactly. And this one, it's specifically for you, the learner, aiming to get that deep understanding quickly without getting bogged down.
And today, wow, we have quite the story. A listener shared a TikTok video, plus a whole bunch of news articles.
Yeah, from NDTV, Reddit, CBS News, Fox Business, Inside Edition, NPR, The Daily Dot, People, WSOC TV, quite the collection.
All about this one guy, Phil Stringer, who ended up the only passenger on an American Airlines flight.
And it goes through and it teaches you the entire information from the story that you need to know. So if you're an audio learner and you want to learn about stuff while driving, guys, I loaded in so much stuff and then downloaded these. I listened to these on my flight coming from Miami because I needed to learn a bunch of information in a short period of time, which it wasn't that short. That was a long flight. But I just listened to these downloaded podcasts and learned all this information from the sources that I put in, okay? I'm gonna teach you a way to use this tool that's gonna blow your mind for real estate, okay? Question?
Change the audio, like if I were to speak that line, can I do that?
You can't. It's only those voices, but what you can do is there's an interactive mode where you can be the third host. So you can actually interject and ask questions or say things, and then they answer your questions. Right? Yeah, for sure. All right, so that's my last tool that is not called ChatGPT. So do you guys want to go into some ChatGPT stuff? Yeah? All right. That's free. Yes. Yeah, and you have 50 sources you can load into every single notebook. Yeah. Pretty incredible, right? All right. Who's overwhelmed? There's a lot going on, right? But I told you not to be overwhelmed because remember, pick one or two things, right? Pick one or two things. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump into some ChatGPT stuff and I'm gonna show you what's possible with ChatGPT. First thing we have to understand is that ChatGPT is a tool and all tools are basically only as good as the person using the tool, right? A hammer is only as good as the person who swings the hammer. And so you have to learn how to use this tool because there's so much at your disposal, but 99% of real estate agents don't really know how to use this tool and they don't know how it works to give them the very best results. All right. So to understand at its very core, what is ChatGPT? Okay. If you understand this, I'm going to break it down for you like you're 5 years old in 60 seconds. Okay. This 60 seconds is very important because once you understand how this thing actually gives you a response, it'll change the way that you use it. Does anyone know actually how it's giving you a response? Yes? I would look, huh? So it is called a large language model. That's where I'll start. If you've ever heard of LLM, that's what's called a large language model. You have ChatGPT, you have Gemini, you have Claude, right? You've got Grok, different large language models. Essentially what a large language model is it's something where when you say something to it, it responds back in a conversational way. So what we were used to before large language models was search engines, right? Google. You type in a question and you get a static list of results that could potentially answer your question. So you click on a link, you read the article. Did it answer your question? Yes, you're good. Did it answer your question? No, you're back to the list and you go to another link and then, right? So there was this technology that came out several years ago called autofill. You remember when you would put something in Google and it started like trying to figure out what you were going to finish with? And it gave you the list of potential things where it was trying to guess what you were going to say. That autofill technology of trying to think of what you were going to say next is what ended up creating large language models. It's the same technology. So I'm going to tell you how this works in a second, but if I were to say, type in who won the Super Bowl in 1995, Google would tell me that the Cowboys defeated the Steelers in 1995. It's the last time that they won the Super Bowl. It's been a long, hard, like 30 years for me. If I were to go into ChatGPT and say who won the Super Bowl, it's going to say the Cowboys defeated the Steelers. Here's the difference, though. If I were to then go to Google and just type in who was the quarterback, question mark, enter, it's going to be like, here are the current NFL quarterbacks. I don't know, right? It doesn't know what I'm talking about. If I were to say who was the quarterback, question mark, enter in ChatGPT, it's going to say Troy Aikman was the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys when they defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? Because it is having a conversation with me and it remembers the things that we said before. Okay? Now, how does it actually give me a response? And this is the crazy thing. It uses 3 different things to give you a response. Number 1, it references its entire data set that it has been trained on. It has been loaded with trillions and trillions of data points. And it's been loaded with human literature, just human communication. So everything from online, books, articles, scholarly resources, any type of text in multiple different languages. And the reason they did that is not to determine what was true and what was false. Because when you do that, you're going to get a lot of conflicting viewpoints. So which one is true? They loaded it in with human literature only to determine what words generally come after another in certain scenarios. So it loaded it with trillions of data points just to predict how words would flow together in the human language. So it references all of that. It then references the prompt that you put in, what you say. So the more detailed your prompt, the better. It's garbage in, garbage out. The more basic your prompt, the more basic the response. And then it references the prior chat history of everything you've been talking about in that communication to say, okay, now based on my trillions of data points, based on the prompt that they put in, based on the prior chat history that we've been talking about, what is the very first word that I should say? And it does one word. And then it recalculates the data set, the prompt, and the chat history to say, what is the most likely second word to follow that first word in the human language? And then it does it again and said, what is the third word that should follow those 2 words that are together? What's the most likely third word for those pairings of 2 words? And it does that every single word that it spits out. There is 50 billion data points calculations that it goes through for each word that it spits out. Which is why I can type in a prompt and Christina can type in a prompt. We're going to get different results because there's so many different things going on. That's how it gives you a response. Now you might say, okay, why did I need to know that as a real estate agent? Because if you know that the stuff that you say before matters, then everything that we do, we can prime it, we can prep it, we can train it with information. I'm also like not going to have any more audio, so I should have told you that before. I'm kidding. I'll use it later. But we can prime it, we can prep it, and we can train it with certain information before to get really, really good results. Okay? So what I'm going to show you here is, let's see. I'm going to show you a feature of ChatGPT that I think is going to change the game for you guys. So I'm going to go into ChatGPT. This is what it looks like for those of you who don't have an account, if there's anyone. You talk to it here, and then it gives you a conversational response back. Now, I'm going to give you a prompt to start off with that can train your ChatGPT on everything that you do, and that's the foundations of what we're going to do. But before I do that, I want to point out one feature that you may not be using, and that's this button right here called Deep Research. Do you guys use Deep Research yet? A couple of you? Okay. For the free account, you can still use Deep Research, but it only gives you 5 queries per month. So you have to be very careful what you're using it for because you will run out. Paid version gives you like 25 per month. So you can see I have 20 left, okay? If you click this button, it turns blue. Now, you have a couple options down here. You could have it search the web for all of its sources. You can connect GitHub. You can connect your Dropbox. You can connect all these different things if you wanted to. I'm just going to keep it with the web search. And I can ask it things and it will research. It takes anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes to get you a response, because it's going through and it's going to tell you all the articles that it's reading through and scanning. You get the whole list of sources, and it does reading that would probably take you 40 hours of reading to give you a full analysis, a full report from everything that it researched online. And it's deep research and it's accurate research. I'll take questions in just 1 second because I've got a couple. So how is this helpful as a real estate agent? Well, I've got some deep research use cases that's also in this PDF that I'm going to give you so you can copy and paste them. But I'm going to show you how you can use this for real estate to do massive research, and then I'm going to show you how to implement that. So first question was here. So you can't decide what sources it uses. It will show you what it uses, but you can't go in and be like, specifically use this. You could ask it and it'll probably try and get in, but there are some sources that are locked that you can't get in that are paid. Yeah, another question over here.
Clients, if they have, for instance, like US LLMs or whatever, it's pretty different.
They are going to be different. I'm going to show you how they're different because Gemini now has deep research. There's another tool called Perplexity that has deep research, and Grok has deep research. They all do it differently, but they all pull dozens to hundreds of sources to give you incredible information. Now, you can use this for your personal life. Think about how you could use this. If you're buying a car and you say, hey, here's my budget. I really care about this. I want this type of van. Can you do all the research for me on everything out there right now and give me a comparison between all these things that match this criteria? You're going to save 40 plus hours of reading articles, and you have one report that's like, here it is in a table format. This is exactly what you need. If you're getting a new phone, compare the latest iPhone models. Do I really need the Pro Max, or can I go with this one? Compare iPhone versus Android, right? Like, do those different things, and it will do all the research for you. So anything that you would spend some time reading articles for, use deep research. It will save you so much time. So what I'm going to go to is I'm going to show you some deep research use cases for real estate specifically. And again, this is in your PDF. You can use deep research. This is case number 1, competitive listing analysis. You could put in something like, here are 3 listings in XYZ neighborhood. Paste in the links to each listing, okay? What is missing from their marketing, and what can I do to outperform these agents when I market my listing? It's going to look through the listing and figure out how you can be better. That's pretty badass. Number 2, research local market trends. So you could say something like, what are trends showing up in zip code? You put in a zip code, 27410 for listings over certain price point. How does that compare to another zip code, right? And it will pull from live data those trends. Use case number 3, local regulations or tax incentives. Can you imagine doing deep research on things like, are there any first-time homebuyer tax incentives or down payment grants in, you put in a county, you put in a zip code, you put in a city, whatever area you want. It's going to search through and tell you all the available options because it's going through and doing all of the deep research for you. Number 4 would be real-time market comparisons. Compare home price trends over the last 90 days in zip code, you put in a zip code, versus another zip code. What are, with average days on market, price per square foot, and list to sale ratios. Full report. Number 5, validate your pricing strategy so that you don't have to convince your seller why. All right, pull recent data, articles, or live sources showing if pricing slightly below market helps homes sell faster put in your city. You can say, look, here's the reason why we're listing it for this, and here's a full report on why this is the best, right? You're having this do the work for you. No, so that was the same question. Yeah. So you can ask it to. If it has access to it, it will get it. But you can't. It'll probably go to Zillow and Realtor.com. Yeah, it's probably going to pull from all that stuff. Number 6, understanding buyer migration trends. You could say, what cities are people moving from to settle in? So you can understand where most people are migrating from. and in a specific year. Use case number 7, competitive agent analysis. What marketing strategies are top agents in area using in 2025 to win luxury listings? This one's so good. I'm going to actually show you this one because I ran this one. And then farming strategy. Research the most effective geographic farming strategies top performing real estate agents are using in 2025 to generate listings and build brand authority in Raleigh, North Carolina. Specifically analyze how agents are combining direct mail with digital tactics like retargeting ads, social media content, email, and AI tools. I want a 12-month plan with content themes, timing suggestions, and modern tracking methods. Also research what's working best right now in similar markets. You're going to get a full report for what's working in 2025 to get that. So let's say we were to run this one, right? What marketing strategies are top agents in, and then you put in your area in 2025 to win luxury listings. Let's say we run that report, okay? It takes up to 30 minutes. Like, it takes a while because it's getting so much info for you. What if we were to copy that entire 20+ page report that it gives us, and we put that into Notebook LM? And then we have Raleigh luxury real estate marketing strategies in 2025. Hey, do we have that that thing? If I play this, does it work? Yeah. So here's what I did while she's getting that. Here's what I did that most people don't do. Instead of just putting that report in and being like, cool, I went to Gemini and I ran the same deep research. I went to Grok and I ran the same deep research. Oh, that is loud. I went to Perplexity. I ran the same deep research. 20 pages, 20 pages, 20 pages, 20 pages, multiple sources, different sources, multiple sources. And I put them all into Notebook LM. So now I have everything in one brain. It's still really loud. But I'll hold it here. So now I've got multiple deep researches. And all of these are free, by the way. I don't have the paid account to these. I just use the free deep research, right? Put them all in here. And then now I've got all of this information. I can ask questions. I can type to it and be like, okay, what is the number one strategy I need to know based on all of these reports, 80+ pages of reports that I don't have time to read through. And then, oh, by the way, I'm driving and I don't want to read those 80 pages. So
To the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into the Raleigh, North
You guys
Carolina
hear that?
real estate scene.
Yeah, specifically looking at the luxury market.
Exactly. How are the top agents actually landing those, high-end listings
Yeah.
in 2025? What's the secret sauce?
Well, we've got some interesting source material to unpack that.
So you can see, sorry, I should not have spoken into that microphone. I'm holding it. It's natural. All right. Well, I'm done now. I'm done. That scared me. I'm kidding. Oh, do you guys want me to talk in the mic? Would this help? Does that help? Okay. Why didn't we start off with this thing? That's fine. It's all good. So you can see how I can use all that information then, learn from a podcast, right? But also figure out all these strategies using deep research, using multiple deep researches into one big thing. And you can do it with like those 8 that I gave you. I just thought of those in the shower. Okay. Like, start thinking, how can I use deep research? Because it's pulling up so much information for you. Okay. So in the PDF, this is the PDF that I'm giving you guys. So I have all the tools. You can click through the links on all those things. I have prompts that I'm going to give you guys as well that will change your business. All you have to do is copy the prompt, paste it into ChatGPT, and they do different things. So for an example, the first one is training ChatGPT to fully understand your business and goals, which I'm going to show you in a second. So I'm just going to pass this. Creating 90 content ideas your target audience may want to know. So once you train it on your business, then you get 90 content ideas that your specific target audience wants to know. And then you can literally create that content and get engaging feedback. Create a complete content calendar from those 90 ideas, telling you when to post, how to post for what you want to do. Create a buyer persona with a list of pain points. Create a targeted ad based on a specific generated persona. Craft the perfect blog post. analyze a specific text for style, voice, and tone. If you want ChatGPT to sound like you, it's the simplest prompt in the world. But you basically say, analyze the following text for style and tone of voice, apply the exact same style to all future responses in this chat, and then you paste in something that you've written before. An email, a text message, doesn't matter, whatever, right? Now it will start typing like you. It'll start misspelling words like you. Be careful, okay? Generate excellent product service descriptions. This is good for listing descriptions. Generate 10 captivating hooks for content and ads. And then this one here, I love this one. I might actually, if I have time, I'll do a live demo on this. It's writing the very best prompt. So for those of you who don't know what to ask ChatGPT, like I don't even know what prompt to put in, this has ChatGPT write its own prompt for itself, but it's a very specific way of doing it. And I'll show you how it works. It's amazing. But this whole thing, now I've got a marketing playbook, step-by-step instructions as well. So I haven't given any of this, like this is everything packaged. I've never given this before, like all in one PDF. You guys all get it. $4,000 is the price. Goes straight to Chris's Cash App. So marketing playbook. This is a 5-step process, and I'm going to walk you through the 5 steps right now. You do this for your business. It's going to take you probably an hour's worth of work, okay? I guarantee you 95% of this room won't do it. Sucks for you. Because the 5% who does, y'all are going to crush it. So here's what you do. And if you are someone who will actually do the work, you will very much appreciate this. So step number 1 is you start with this prompt. And it's the same prompt that I had at the very beginning of this document where it's training ChatGPT on your business and your goals. So I'm going to read this to you. But all you're going to do is you're going to copy this right here, and you're going to paste it in ChatGPT. So it says, prepare to generate content for me in future prompts. Before we proceed, I want you to fully comprehend my business, customers, target audience, and goals. Base your future responses on my provided answers that I will give to you. I want you to fully understand my objectives for creating content. To achieve this, ask me at least 25 questions about my business, customers, target audience, vision, goals, and any other necessary details to complete the upcoming tasks to the best of your ability. Your understanding is crucial for optimal results. Do you see what we're doing? We're saying you know what you don't know about me. I'm human. I can't think of all the things, all the details. Like my brain doesn't work that way. But it knows what it already knows about me, and it knows where the gaps are. So you say, interview me and ask me the 25 most important things that you don't know about my business yet, all the details, and it's going to do that. So it comes back and it gives you the 25 things that it doesn't know yet. You copy those 25, you paste them onto a Word doc or a Google Doc, and you just answer the questions. Number 1, what type of target audience are you mostly working with, right? Do you have any specialties? Do you work with veterans? Whatever it is, like it's going to ask you all these things based on what it doesn't know. So you answer those questions. Don't go crazy here. Don't feel overwhelmed. If you don't know how to answer a question, either don't answer it or go to ChatGPT and be like, help me answer this question. And it will help you answer the question. You don't have to do paragraphs. You can just do one little sentence, whatever. The more information you give it, the better. But even if you just throw one little thing in there, it's going to be better than nothing. Yes, question. Yeah.
Does it go back to your other prompts? It remembers all of your prompts.
So it used to be that you had to go back to the conversation. That has changed in the last month to where it can now reference throughout all conversations. Okay. It adds certain things to its memory on its own. Now, I can show you if you remind me, because I will forget. There's a way that you can edit which memories it has of you. Delete certain things. You can force it to remember things too. Be like, add to your memory the fact that I am a real estate agent, whatever. You can do that, and it will force it to add it to its memory. But you do this, and it's going to cross-reference your other stuff and fill in the gaps from the other things that it doesn't have in its memory, okay? So now, this is step 1. This is easy. You copy that, you paste it in, you take those 25, you put it in a Google Doc, you answer the questions. When you're done answering the questions, copy them, questions and answers, paste them back into ChatGPT and just say, here are the answers to your questions. And then it's going to be like, awesome, now I'm trained, I know exactly what you're trying to do. We do that first because everything we create after that is all based on all of that data, super specific to you. Now, if you followed me at all, you already know about this step. I'm going to teach you stuff that I've never done before in this marketing playbook, okay? Number 2, you do deep research on your target market. So you put in something like research the target market for my real estate business in city, area, zip code, whatever. Check real forums, social media, pages, and review sites to find the exact words people use when talking about their problems and their dream outcomes. This is finding real customers in your area through reviews, through social media, through comments, through everything, when they're talking about what problems they face in your area and what their dream outcome is. If you can solve a problem, you win for your client. Figure out what their dream outcome is, get them to the dream outcome by solving their problems. This will give you a full deep research report on exactly those things, okay? So then it finishes that report. You copy the whole report. It could be 10, 15, 20 pages long. You paste it in the Google Doc at the bottom of your 25 questions and answers. And now you have 25 questions and answers all about your business and 20 pages of a deep research report about your target market, their dream outcomes, and the words that they use to describe their pain. Cool. Now we go to step number 3. Do deep research about your specific content strategy. ChatGPT has been trained on the 25 things that we answered. It already knows exactly what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. So we say something like, I'm a real estate agent looking to create content via, you put in what content types you're wanting to focus on right now. Like if you want to start a YouTube page, put YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is you're wanting to make content for, blogs, email marketing, doesn't matter. And you can do multiple. You can say Instagram and email marketing or whatever. Give me topic ideas that hit 3 critical points. 1, high search volume. 2, reasonable competition levels, because you don't want to go into something that's like way over flooded. And 3, a clear overlap with my paid services and offers. You've already answered the 25 questions. It knows what those are. So now you have another 10, 15, 20 pages of a deep research report that gives you exactly what your content strategy should be based on your dream outcome of your client, based on the pain point of your client, based on everything it knows about your business. You paste that report at the bottom of the document that you've been creating. You're creating one long document, and we're going to call this your marketing playbook. So then step 4, you see, you paste all the info into one document. You have your 25 questions and answers about your business. You have your research report on your target market that you created. You have your research report on your content strategy, all in one long document. This could be 50, 60, 70, 80 pages long at this point, right? A lot of information. Step 5, we upload the playbook to ChatGPT because you can upload files and it references the file. So you have 80 pages of all this stuff. And I'm going to give you 4 use cases of things that you could ask. You can ask anything with this file uploaded. But number 1, let me see if I can make this larger for you guys. Number 1, you could ask, based on my business and marketing playbook attached, what are some great lead magnet ideas for me to offer to grow my list and get leads? It literally analyzes the 80 pages of your marketing playbook to then answer that question, specifically what lead magnets you should be creating, right? Number 2, based on my business and my marketing playbook attached, what are some great service providers I can partner with? Number 3, review my business and marketing plan, then use the web to scan real reviews, websites, and articles, and do research on my competition in my area to find out the strengths and weaknesses of my competition. Then number 4, based on my business and my marketing playbook attached, act as a high-level business coach and help me make some data-backed business decisions that will help my real estate business scale. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are 4 things I came up with probably in the shower again. You can do whatever you want. This is just to get your mind going. But you now have a marketing playbook document, several pages long. that you can then upload to ChatGPT. It references all of it, and then it does stuff for you based on all of that information. Does that make sense? Are there any questions about this so far? Pretty clear? Okay, 95% of you won't do it. He wants the PDF. Yeah.
Or think of real estate. Is it beneficial to have more than one ChatGPT account?
So that's a great question. If you have multiple businesses, I would separate those because, yeah. Yep. I have personal and I have business. For me, I pay for 2 accounts just because that's my own thing. But there is something that you can do on ChatGPT right here. You guys see that in the top right? It says turn on temporary chat. When you turn on temporary chat, it doesn't remember, it doesn't put it on the left-hand side in the history, and it adds nothing to memory. So I would use that when you don't want it to remember anything. Like if it's a personal thing, you're like a one-time thing that you're like, hey, what should I buy from the grocery store for that? Like it doesn't need to remember that, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does it remember all of your personal stuff, all the stuff that people will be like, what are the difficulties that might be incorporated? Like, I'm a single mom. Okay, because you're a single mom, blah, 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 blah.
Yep. Yeah, and that's why it's good to separate. Like if you can, you could keep it if you wanted to, but there are some things like I have a lot of people who are a real estate agent, but also they like own a bakery. And they're like, it's confusing the bakery stuff, you know? So it really just depends. Like, do you want to use it with your, it's really good that it knows you personally, because then it could use some of those things in. But if you have multiple businesses, that's when I recommend doing 2 different things. So yeah, it's kind of up to you on that. Other question, yeah.
Said to pull all the answers, pull docs, how do you do that?
It can be anything. It could be a notepad. It could be Word document. It could be like literally just paste it into something that's going to have, I use Google Docs. Some people use Microsoft Word. Some people use notes on their phone. Like it doesn't matter. Just get it all into one document so you can drag that file into ChatGPT and it will reference all of it. Yeah.
That solves the problem of having the
Yeah.
bakery and the real estate. And
Yeah.
just chats and projects.
Yeah, and I think we should get into that. I think that's a good thing to get into. There's a feature called projects where you can put things in a, like, see, I've got projects over here, Greensboro real estate. So it's basically a folder where you can drag in certain chats and keep them all together, and then you can talk to it, right? You can add files, you can add custom instructions, and you can add different chats, and it creates a brain that you can then talk to, right? So that is something you could do to segment. Yeah, if you've got multiple things going on, have a, you know, Sally's Cupcakes, and then, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Talking a little bit about the predictive nature of the LLMs and then generating a huge swath of data that's gathered from these deep research, putting it all together into one bundle. That does kind of promote the, or increase the risk of it, like hallucinating, basically.
Yeah. Yes, and yeah.
Like, I guess in general, my question is, how do you feel about the concept of like the dead internet theory and overdoing with too much data that you might start with not accurate? How do you check yourself?
Yeah. So each of those deep research reports gives me all the sources that the things come from. And so I just check to make sure they're legitimate. Like it's all coming from online, but I check to make sure I'm comfortable with those sources before I throw it in somewhere. But what he's saying is if you're putting in deep research from 4 different things all into one big bucket, another thing that I do, which is actually helpful, is let's say I start with one deep research report, and then I actually tell the large language model, because I built GPTs. You can see over here, I have a hook bot, Phil's speaking style, Phil's writing style, email marketing bot. These are GPTs that are trained on a lot of reports and information. So for an example, my email marketing bot, I'm very specific with how I write emails, okay? I took a course a guy who absolutely crushes email marketing. And I was like, I want to copy that style. So I added all the information from his course into a GPT and I said, this is the style that I want to copy, right? Here's all the information. I did deep research on him and said, show me the exact style, put that in there. And then I had specific reports that I used to use for email marketing where I would say, okay, I'm going to put this report in as well, but I didn't want it to overwrite or go against something that the guy taught in his course. So I said, before I uploaded that, I said, I've got another resource. I only want you to add things that would collaborate with all the research I currently have in there right now. So anything that contradicts what he's saying, leave out, but add in anything that supports it or enhances it. So you can do the same with your deep research reports. Be like, all right, this is our initial report. I'm going to add this, add anything that, enhances or supports this, but anything that would contradict what I'm saying here, I don't want you to add. So that's kind of a workaround to do that. Yeah.
Went back having separate accounts real quick. A lot of us are obviously from EXP and a portion of our business is agent attraction. Would you recommend having a separate account for agent attraction versus income producing?
Yeah, so I wouldn't. I think that all the information that you're putting in about your business is part of your value proposition for attracting agents. And so I would use the same account to do agent attraction as I would business, because it will be able to pull all of your business information to then figure out the best way to attract agents based on what you're doing. So that's a great question. I love that question, but I would keep it all in the same account. Yeah.
Know how you use it, like, is it not messed up or
I think something that you guys need to be aware of is the top right corner has your settings. So this is my business account. This is my personal account. See how I have them separate? I pay for two different accounts. That's just how I do it. But I also have team members that are in Stratus Global is the name of our company. So we all have accounts that go to that one business account. I can add teammates because I have that business account, right? So I can add certain teammates and we can collaborate and whatnot. But you guys should know there's a settings button here. And then in settings, you have a couple different things. So you have personalization. And in personalization, this is where the memory thing is, okay? So it says reference saved memories. It lets ChatGPT save and use memories when responding. So you can literally tell it, hey, remember, and it will put it into this list of memories. It does it on its own too. So you might notice it says updating memory randomly. Well, it's taking something that you said and it's adding it to the memory so that it can use it later. I'll give you a real world example of how this affected me. A friend of mine said, hey, I've never used ChatGPT. This was like a year ago. She said, my sister's getting married. I'm the maid of honor and I need to write a speech. Can you help me do it? I said, sure, let's get on a Zoom. So I'm on my ChatGPT account and I'm like asking her all these questions. And so I'm putting in a ChatGPT, my sister's getting married, I'm the maid of honor. These are all the things about my sister. We made a beautiful speech. She was like, this is amazing. I realized later, because of some things that it was saying to me, that it had added those things into my memory. So I went to my memory and said, Phil Stringer was the maid of honor at his sister's wedding. And I was like, no, no, no. So this button here says manage memories. Do you guys see this? Manage memories. When you click on that, it gives you a list of all of your memories. And there's a trash can button next to all of them. It is a very good practice to go through all of them, delete the ones, not even that are like weird or aren't true. But if you have something you're like, I really don't need this in here because it has a limited amount of memory. So you don't want something that doesn't really matter in that list. So just delete the things that don't really matter. And then if you have specific things that you want it to remember, you can add in memories by just saying, hey, I want you to add to your memory that I am this, right? Yeah.
Running into the memory management problem, that's just something that you may want to try is that you ask it to generate the full list of its current memory, then you ask it to print, consolidate, and maintain the fidelity, and then put it back in its own memory.
Yeah.
So it cleans itself up.
Yeah, you can. That's a great use case as well. Yeah, you can say that again.
It gets full because it just makes a bunch of work, it'll save too much stuff. Most things are irrelevant sometimes. So you ask it to generate that full list and then say, can you please clean this up, but keep all the important stuff? and then resave that new piece to your memory, and so it just creates more space for itself. That way.
Yeah, so you can have it list out your whole list and then clean it. Oh yeah. Yeah. That is something I use all the time. So you have this here. This button here is dictate, where you can speak and it will type it. Or this button here is voice mode, where you can talk and it talks back. Yeah. So those are the two voice options. Couple more questions, guys. Yes. Get rid of images in ChatGPT. I'll talk to you afterwards. I'll look at your phone. Yeah. Other questions?
Gotta eat like, style marketing.
Oh, he's crazy. I don't know that you would want to follow him. So he asked, who's the guy that you like his email marketing style? He is 100% the best person in the world at email marketing, but his email marketing tactics are extreme. So his name is Daniel Throssell, and the way that he does his emails is he is very sarcastic, very abrasive. He doesn't really pitch a lot or sell a lot, but he will at the end, like a soft pitch. But he goes through and he tells a narrative. It's an email that you're like reading a story. And sometimes he'll do multiple part emails where it's all story based. And so I can show you guys, I think I've got an email my team just sent to me. I think it was for the buyer prediction thing. Let's see. I'll read it to you. And this is basically his style. And let's see. You guys you'll laugh at this because it's okay. I have multiple of these, so I don't know what this is going to say. Subject line is the real estate pitch that hasn't changed since Blockbuster. The body is there's something funny about real estate. Not haha funny, more like, wow, are we still doing this in 2025? Because while the world went from flip phones to ChatGPT, most agents still walk into listings with the exact same pitch that they were taught back when AOL CDs came in the mail. Here's the scene. You show up at the seller's house. You smile. You hand them a CMA. You point to comps. You promise marketing, which is just an Instagram post anyway. You nod at their kitchen upgrades like it's 2006. Then you cross your fingers and pray. Meanwhile, the seller interviewed 3 more agents. And guess what? They all say the same stuff, show the same comps, pitch the same plan. And the seller picks whoever gave them the warm fuzzies, not necessarily you. Here's the problem. Real estate agents are still selling like it's pre-Zillow, pre-Amazon, pre-AI, but the seller, they've changed. They're savvier, they're skeptical, and they're tired of hearing, here's what I think we'll do. So what if you flipped the script? What if you walked into the listing and said, let me show you exactly who's going to buy your home? I'm talking age, lifestyle, shopping habits, concerns, pain points, what they dream about in a home. All pulled from real data, all wrapped in a beautiful report, all done in seconds by a tool I built called buyerprediction.com. It's AI, it's fast, it's scary accurate, and sellers say things like, no one else showed me anything like this. You've had me at buyer report. We felt like you already had the buyer before we even signed. This is how modern agents win. And the best part, you don't even have to give me your info. Just go here and run your first report for free. Use it on a FSBO. Bring it to your next listing. Send it in a farm mailer. Whatever you do, stop sounding like the last 5 agents they just met. Start showing up with the one thing no one else is bringing, the buyer. And then it says, P.S., the first report is free, ungated, no sign up, no forms. Use it, see what happens. Then decide if $29 a month to use it unlimited is worth it. And you'll know after 1 listing. So like, it's a long email. He writes long emails, but it's engaging and you're like reading a story. It's a narrative. I could have sent an email like, hey, I have this tool and it's $29 a month and you can use it for your thing, like most people do. But it's probably going to go to the trash. And so it's just a whole nother way of doing email marketing where you're like telling a story, right? Yeah.
Buyer. How, where do you that something you're showing us that can actually find a buyer? Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a great point. Yeah. So a lot of people, what they're doing with this tool, and I should have told you guys this, you take this report, you go to ChatGPT and you paste it in, and you create your content around that report. So what you're doing is you're actually creating ads, you're creating email marketing, you're creating Instagram reel scripts, you're creating everything for that specific buyer, right? Yeah.
While you're at the curve,
I like Lovable too. I just had to pick one. Yeah, they're both good.
Is there? Fire, because I have a lot of really obscure properties that the MLS won't sell.
Right.
Or ultra luxury, those who aren't looking.
Right.
So is there a way to find those people through this application?
Absolutely.
Correct mark?
There are ways. It's way more advanced than this class and costs money and automation, but it is 100% possible, and we're doing it for people. Yes, yeah, we can do anything. Just it's way more for like this type of class. Okay, here's what I'm going to do to end this. One, he wants the PDF. I think should I just give it to you, and then just like I'll just give it to you later. No worries. Yeah, so I'll give you guys that. And then I promised that I had something for you as well that I've never packaged all this together. You guys are getting all of this for free. No one else has this PDF. This is your PDF, okay? Yeah, absolutely. So here is the QR code for that. And then if you hate QR codes or if like someone's head's in the way, you can go to philstringer.com/Hawaii25. It goes to the same place. Okay. That'll give you everything. And then I want to tell you guys about something. Again, I'm giving you guys all the firsts. This is crazy, but I feel like, I don't know, Hawaii just puts me in a good mood. Like this is the first presentation that I'm casual. I don't have a suit on. I'm wearing a hat. Like I just feel good, right? Chris, this is something I have never promoted or offered to anyone ever. And so I'm going to give you guys the opportunity of this, and I'm only giving this to you guys here today. I have an academy. So I told you guys I had over 1,200 students in the academy. I teach real estate agents how to use AI, right, to save time and sell more homes. And so the academy is this. And if you're one of the members, you know you get an on-demand AI video course. You get weekly live Q&A calls with me. It's office hours. You can come in. You can ask whatever you want. You have a bank of over 500 prompts. So like all the stuff that we're going through today in your PDF where you can copy and paste, you get a bank of 500 prompts. You get an AI Academy certification for real estate, and you get access to our AI community. This is a new course that we just launched. It's $5,999 for those of you at the back who can't see the bottom of the screen. It's $5,999. We have over 1,200 students in our community, and it's been absolutely game-changing for people. We also have a bonus of a customized 50-plus page business and marketing blueprint that you guys get. It's a $500 report. It costs me $250 just to run it. So we sell it for $500 to make some money on that. But we have this business and marketing blueprint. It's over 50 pages. Really, really good info. We want to show you there's many things that this thing can do. Obviously, you've been here for 2 hours, so you can see the value already. But there's a lot of different things that this AI Academy shows you how to do. We also have, and I probably should have thought of this with the people at the back. You can't see the bottom of the screen. We have a $1,200 AI mastermind where we do weekly group coaching calls to tell you what's new in AI that week. Because, yeah, a week. Yes. So what you get is you get the on-demand video course in the course, but we realized, okay, we need to have a separate product that's a mastermind that only people in the course have access to. If they want to pay the $1,200, they can get in. We do weekly calls to tell you what has changed, right? That way you're not stuck with old information. So everything together, we're packaging all of this together, everything. So you get the on-demand course, you get the weekly live calls with me, you get over 500 prompts, you get the AI Agent Academy certification, you get access to our AI community, you get the customized 50-plus page marketing blueprint report that's $500. you get the AI Mastermind as well. So you're getting all of the products all in one. I've never sold this before. It's $7,699. Okay. So for you guys today, I wanted to package that up in a way that would make sense. And I am able to give this to you guys for a monthly price of $397. Never done this before. That code will take you there for $397. It's philstringer.com/stratosphere. But I'm going to do something for just this group, and I'm not ever going to do this again. It will be $297 per month, grandfathered in. If you use the code Hawaii Now, that code will stop the moment I leave this building. So it's only going to be available because this is $7,700 worth of my products for basically nothing. But I was feeling good, and I don't know, it's like the island feel just made me, maybe it's this thing. I don't know. It was the lay. It was the lay. So offer expires at the end of this event, but I did want to give you guys that opportunity to be in and get all of that value. Again, I've never offered this package before, ever. You guys are the first to ever see this. So questions? What's that? Yeah, so this is a 12-month mastermind that you're in. So you're committing to a 12-month deal, monthly $297. Yep. And you get access to everything. Awesome. Any other questions? Hopefully this was a valuable session for you guys. Yes? Awesome. You guys can catch me for questions after this as well if you have some one-on-one stuff that you need answered. If not, then I'll hand it over to Chris. Thank you guys so much.
Let's give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Thanks, brother. Wow.
The next slide is yours.
Thanks, yeah, get the bill, guys. Come on, come on. Here. We are excited as you guys are. We started in December of 2024. Who's done the journey so far? Every month we've done something since December of 2024. And we created you guys experience that Karen and I got together and started talking about something that we wanted to build into everybody because we knew that why? You all matter. And reality is everything that even built it, 95% of the people are not going to do it here. Challenge accepted. Who's going to do 95%? Let's switch that. How about 5% don't do it, 95 keep it, make it happen. I think we laid out in advance. The whole idea would be that so let's half an hour setting so we wanted to see I don't like this. I don't like this. The business workshop. So much. What else do we have? We had Bill last month. I mean, who's that Bill? All right, this is not over. So the moment can be pitched away is still happening. So Bill was still a part of that. We're not done.
Next month, you have the Trinity.
We have the Trinity, for those who believe in. All right, the Trinity is the three, the trifecta. Okay, priest, come on up. So we're creating, the United States is trucking on, we're gonna keep going here, and we're dedicated to building into you guys, and now we're gonna add this trifecta. Why did I get the memo of the white clothes? It's like Don Johnson. All right. Anyways, so we're not done. Next month, we have this, the Trinity of Transformation. We're gonna do the 6 month. We thought that we did something in December. We're just gonna let you guys off the hook. We're not. 6 month gap starts next month. We're in this 2025, halfway through the year. Where are you at? From the beginning of December, we all did a business workshop. We talked about things that you need to integrate. But every meeting we did after that, all of us about to build your business and your mind. And now we're gonna add the fitness and health and wealth. Everything. Everything. All the above. Yes. It is. But it's about getting yourself completely done. It's like it's everything, right? If you're not completely done, it's like a wheel. Part of the time for working, it doesn't roll. So we thought this would be a good addition to this to keep moving forward for 2025. And here we are. Scan the QR code. Next month, June 26th. Be right back here at Savant. By the way, thank you, Savant. Savant is amazing. This is our EXP office, by the way. Ashley walked the back door. We see all the show over here, but they're amazing. Taylor, thank you so much. Been amazing back there. This is such a great spot. You guys look at this opportunity here to come in and work at Savant. Our office here, EXP, by the way, is here. So Savannah's back here pretty much Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But this is a great spot if you guys want to utilize it. Ash. Yeah, easy commercial here next month. So we have the residential and the commercial piece here, but just it's a great spot, a great pub to come in and work at, utilize your business, pop in, use some of the office spaces. We do have an account, I believe, I don't know the specifics for each year, that we get discounts of some sort.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so I don't know all that, but nothing, this is a great opportunity to come in and plug into Savant. So thank you again, Savant, for the opportunity. But you guys, I hope this was amazing for you today. Phil did a great job. We're not done. Next month, come in here and transform the Trinity of your whole entire life. We're going to keep this going for 2025. You guys have an amazing day. Love you all. Let's go.
Well,